So now we can talk about how to convert in between our different temperature scales. Again, Kelvin is based on absolute zero, so 0 Kelvin is negative 273.15. So if you want to find the Kelvin temperature of something, just add 273 to the Celsius. We're not really going to worry about the 0.15 because it doesn't really matter that much. 273 is so much that the 0.15 doesn't even matter. You cannot convert straight from Fahrenheit to Kelvin. You'd have to go from Fahrenheit to Celsius and then to Kelvin. So just keep that in mind. If they give you a Fahrenheit temperature and they want it in Kelvin, you'll have to put it in Celsius first and then Kelvin. Fahrenheit water boils at 212. This is what we use in the United States. And it freezes at 32 degrees. Celsius, in the Celsius scale, water boils at 100 and freezes at 0. It's just a little easier. It's kind of like the metric system for temperature. If you want to find a Fahrenheit temperature and you have a Celsius, you can multiply that by 1.8 and add 32. In my AP class, and I know some people, they just do 2 times the Celsius plus 32 because you're going to get something pretty close. So if you don't want to do the 1.8, you can just take your Celsius, multiply it by 2, and add 32. You won't get the exact answer, but you'll get pretty close. And so on like a test or a quiz, you'd be able to figure out, you just pick the closest answer. Same with the Celsius. If you want to find Celsius with a Fahrenheit temperature, you can just take that Fahrenheit minus 32 and divide by 1.8 or 2. You can probably do these two in your head, but you have a calculator, so if you want to do 1.8, you're more than welcome to do it that way as well. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to do some problems from chapter 12. So here's the first type of problem. It's a temperature conversion. The coldest outdoor temperature ever recorded was 128.6 degrees Fahrenheit, and this was in Vostok, Antarctica. I'm going to cross this out because it's annoying. Convert this temperature to degrees Celsius and degrees Kelvin. So the first thing we need to do is do the Celsius. And then afterwards we can do the Kelvin. Okay. So the formula to convert Fahrenheit to Celsius, you can use either one, but this one's actually a little bit easier. You have, you take your Fahrenheit temperature and you minus 32, and then you divide by 1.8. Okay, so we can go ahead and we can put our temperature in. We have negative 128.6 degrees. And we're going to minus 32, and then we're going to divide by 1.8. Okay, since we have a negative number and we're taking a negative number away from a negative number, we're actually, we're going to get a number that's bigger or like more negative. And we're going to get 160.6. And then we need to divide that by 1.8. And then we'll get 89.22 degrees Celsius. And that's our temperature in Celsius. Now we can take this Celsius temperature and we can get the Kelvin. Now the only formula we have that has Kelvin in it has Celsius plus 273. So this is why we have to get the Celsius first, because this formula doesn't have Fahrenheit in it at all. So we have to get our Celsius, and then we can get our Fahrenheit. And this is actually going to be negative. So we've got negative 89. This is really, I'm going to redraw this because it looks bad. So we've got negative 89.22, and we're going to add 273 to that. Okay, so we should get a number that's less than 273. And you should get 183 0.78, and that's going to be your Kelvin. And remember, you don't have to say degrees Kelvin. Sometimes I'll slip into it, and you might slip into it too, because all the other temperature scales we know are in degrees. But in Kelvin, you don't have to use degrees.